Hey folks, Jonathan here. Just wanted to do a little update. Rollback. We're working on it. Getting ready to change the quarter fender. We got to put a couple tires on. We're going to try to get our simulators on. We're going to repaint the nose, get it back red, and a few other things. Repaint the bed. We'll re-letter these trucks. I'm going to change the lettering out a little bit if I can find somebody to do my lettering. I had one truck done, and I'll show you here in a minute, but I want letters like it, but I can't seem to get anybody that wants to do them. So hard to get people to work for money anymore. All right, let me show you something else. Okay, here's my 2003 Top Kick, and to help everybody understand, so I get a lot of flack over projects, starting projects, not finishing, and you know, people just don't understand the way that other people work, and also they don't understand that, you know, we still got to make a living at the same time. But here's the deal. This truck, I bought this truck and started on it about 5 years ago, maybe even a little more, before I ever started on the four-wheel drive build. That's how long it took me to get this truck done, and it's still not done. There's still a few little things I've got to do to it, but for anybody that thinks that I'm not going to get back on the four-wheel drive wrecker and finish it, I hope you watch this video, because I get asked about it constantly. The views wasn't that great on it to start with. I hope when I get back on it that they're going to be decent. But so I mean, some people enjoyed it, but you know, didn't get the views that it should have got anyway. So yeah, I'm absolutely going to be back on the four-wheel drive, and it's not going to be very long from now. But as for now, I'm trying to get a few things finished up on this truck. I've got to get it lettered. You can see our door turned out good. It's not perfect. It wasn't meant to be perfect. It was meant to work. The rear door for this thing, $1,000 plus shipping to get one, so that's the way it goes. The part here is fixed. Done a really good job, blended together. Couldn't expect but so much on this door here, because as you all seen, I welded it down the center. That's not how you do body work. It's not the way you're supposed to do it. It's just the way we done it, because we tried to save some money. So basically what I've done, for anybody that don't know, is I took a front door and I cut it down the seam and took the where it laps over and ground it, and actually used it as a skin on the bottom side of this door. So I also cut this one down and then just welded it on. So you know, you do what you got to do, and you know, the linement's fine. I mean, it's not bad. They open and close good. There's no problems there. We've got a couple of little runs that he's going to go back and get out of this when the paint cures just a little bit. I don't mind runs. Runs are easy to get out. You know, I don't know why people get so upset over a run. I used to take a razor blade and I'd cut it off, just being real careful, and then wet sand it and buff it, and boom, it's done. I mean, it's no big deal. Now they make a special scraper to cut them off, so you know, it's not they're definitely not an issue. And I've still got to get, not on this side but the other side, I've got to get the stainless toolboxes on it. I want to polish the bed up, and like I said, the letters, and then we haven't blacked anything out yet. Put the parking lights on. You know, now we've got a latch here too. I'm not going to do much on the front, but I am going to do something here just to break up the red a little bit. And excuse it because it's dirty. This pollen, you can't do nothing with it around here. So you know, if I washed it 5 minutes later, it would be yellow again from the pollen. And so we still got some straightening out to do. But my point is you know, a 5-year project shouldn't have been, but here's how this works. I gave $3,500 for this truck. Okay, it had an issue. It was in limp mode. I had a hard time figuring it out. Luckily James helped me out with it, and it turned out to be nothing but a ground. But I did put 3 speed sensors on it, NSBU switch on the transmission. Let me see, the pigtail through GM, the wire that was kind of expensive, $120, something like that. And it turned out to be a fix that didn't cost a dime, except for all the time and stuff that I'd put into it. So anyway, then we come to the bed. most of you remember I bought a truck with a bent frame, and I think the engine was bad in it too, but I bought it for $2,000. Now I actually sold enough parts off that truck to get my money back. So I really don't have any money in the bed, but you know, I've got, you can say I gave $2,000 for it. I mean, however, it don't matter to me. But you didn't spend a lot on painting. Eddie, a friend of mine, done me really good. And actually the guy that painted this is Noah's dad. Noah's the boy that works for me. Done, you know, a really good price on this. So I'm well under $10,000 in this truck as it sits. And you know, the thing about it is I could have went out and bought one and could have been using it 5 years ago. But it don't, I mean, it's not the money. The money's never the object, because although I'm not financed, I don't owe money on anything, it wouldn't be a big deal to me to be financed. I mean, I don't handle the money. I hand it to my wife and she pays the bills. So I wouldn't miss it or notice it anyway. But it's not the point of it. I don't want to be in debt, and that's just, you know, the way it is. And so we've spent, you know, $8,000 or $10,000, whatever, and we've got a, you know, a truck that cleaned up. You know, I've got, like I said, other things I need to do to it, but I mean, you know, $20,000 to $25,000 pretty easy out of this truck if I wanted to sell it. It's 19 foot. Downfall is it's an aluminum bed, but it does have a good wheel lift. It is air ride. It is 4-door. You know, it does run and drive great. Seems to be really good on fuel. I don't mind the fuel mileage. And you know, when it comes to picking up cars and hauling cars, it's quick and easy and no problem. And of course, you know, most of y'all know I had to buy a pump for this and a little bit of hoses and stuff like that. So, you know, that's where the other money comes into, because the $35 for the truck and the bed, that's only $5,500. But you know, bought the paint and just a lot of little stuff. So, but like I said, I'm well under 10,000. And I think that bumper, that was the one I had, if you remember right, and I think I gave like $89 for that cover. So that worked out really well. I like it. I like the way it looks. But anyway, the whole point of this thing, well, I'll quit babbling, but the whole point of this thing is you know, the four-wheel drive wrecker is still absolutely 100% in the plans. It's going to get done. It's just a matter of time, and you know, I'm ready to do it. I want to do it. I'm going to do some changing on it. It's not going to stay like it is. Engine wise, I'm going to swap the engine, and maybe, well, absolutely, I'm going to swap the transmission out. I don't like the fact there's no PTO in the transmission. I'm not going to run the 7.3. I've got a DT466. I just as well run it. So we're just going to change some stuff around on it and keep right on the project. And the reason I'm changing now and I didn't build it that way is because I didn't have them parts then. I didn't have a DT466 to put in it. You know, and then you come along that stuff and then you just do it. So anyway, so we'll be back on it before too long. So let me show you the letters we want. Now you can see the pollen on this one. This is terrible. We need to pull it out and wash it. It's like snow. But anyway, this is what I want to go with on the letters. I like them letters. All they are is black letters with silver letters put inside of them. I don't reckon the guy that made these or done these is still doing it. So I'm actually going to find somebody else. I'll just take a picture of these, get a measurement, and we'll find somebody else to do the same letters. And I want to do the letters, you know, at the top of the windshield also. And I like the back window letters. That was the first one I had done back window letters on. And so we've got to have that. Then the phone number. And of course, believe it or not, they make us do this. This is actually a federal law, and they usually don't, nobody enforces it, except they enforce it with us because they come out to inspect our trucks. We've got to have our personal name on it as the owner, and I don't, you know, care to do that, but that's what they make us do. We just got the 24 hours on the hood. I definitely need to wash this one. But anyway, I'll show you where we're at. We've done a few things on the drag car here. Okay, before I show you the drag car, let me do you an update on this. This is the truck that keeps on giving. And the reason I say that, I went ahead and put the radiator in, fan shroud, got everything hooked up, running, going, decided to take it down the road. And it actually don't do too bad. The problem is it jumps out of second gear. and it's got an old Muncie Kearney 4-speed, I think a 420. So anyway, we're going to be tearing that transmission down soon, and we will I guess go through it and try to figure out what the problem is and rebuild it and get a kit for it for $115 with all the bearings and seals and everything. And I don't know if I showed the drive shaft or not, but I finished the drive shaft up, got it in, it worked good. So the 2-wheel drive works, 4-wheel drive works, everything's good to go there. We got the power steering pump, good belt on it, got it tightened up, so it actually steers really easy even with the big tires. So no issues there. Like I said, the only issue so far, I haven't done the exhaust and it does pop out a second. So the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, as for the drag cars, you can see we got tires on it. We're doing some work on it. Got the body up this way. I don't want to give away too much because we're trying to do videos on it, but there you go. Okay, folks, we're also working on this truck, and what we're doing here is new cables. I'm fixing a few little issues with the pulley on the end, the boom head, and let me see, one hydraulic hose. We got to change a couple tires around on this truck and get it washed up. Pollen's same way on this one, just covering it. So anyway, it's it don't need much. It just needs a few little things done to update it. Of course, we're servicing everything, and I want to straighten this bumper out to the best of my ability anyway. I'm tired of it looking bad. All right, I was walking by it, so I figured I'd show it. It's actually sitting there running. We got the muffler taken care of. We got a wheel on it. Noah swapped the hubcaps around, got all the good ones on it, and we're getting ready to pull for the door. We just got it strapped shut right now, but we just got to make our plate. We're going to bolt on and pull it, and the door being open, the interior light was on, so the battery went dead. That's why I'm letting it sit here and run. But so I just had to flip the little switch on the interior, the dome light, so it wouldn't come on when the door was open. But anyway, so we'll be doing a video on this here shortly. Okay, this brings us to the 4-wheel drive. Still sitting here. Going to be moved here shortly, very soon. We're going to get back on this truck and see if we can get it knocked out. The other wrecker I built took 6 months. The rollback I've been working on for 5 years. I mean, it's the way it goes. Sometimes you just get thrown off of stuff, and you want to do stuff a particular way, so either you just half-ass it and don't fix it right and just go on and put it together, or you just spend your time and get it right. And I want to spend the time and get it right. So I want it the way I want it, and that's why I'm going to pull the engine back out, and we're going to get back, you know, rolling heavy on this. It won't take much to have this boom mounted on this thing. You know, the most of the work's going to be fabricating the bed around it, getting the rear outriggers on. The front outriggers we've already figured out, no problem. The slowing gear's good, ready to go. Just a lot of drilling and bolting. That's what we got a mag drill for, and shouldn't be any issues. I mean, I think it's going to hold up fine and do fine, and love to find some better quarter fenders. I just run into the quarter fender situation on the rollback. I finally found one. They want $150 for it. No, they want $100 for the quarter fender and $150 shipping, so I'm not going to pay that for it. These ones is the ones that come off of one in the cow pasture, and the cows rubbed on it and beat it off. Yeah, it didn't sound right. The cows rubbed on it and, yeah, knocked the edges off. And we'll end up making a bumper for this one. We are running this front end. This is the one that is the oddball, of course. And anyway, we'll be back on this truck. It won't be long at all. So for everybody that's asking, hopefully this will take care of that. It's definitely something that's in the plan, something I want to do. And you know, we've come too far not to finish it, so you know, we're going to finish it. I want it. I want to run it. You know, I'd love to be in the woods with it right now, pulling a, you know, one of them poles out to get stuck in the mud on these tank trails on the Fort Bragg. But you know, you got to do what you got to do. So just try to be a little easy on me on this. You know, it is coming up. You know, we have no plans to stop on this project. But you get an update on what everything's going on. Noah's off school this week, so he was in helping me all week. We've gotten a bunch done, and hopefully we can get a bunch more done, so before, you know, he has to go back to school on Monday. So. No, there's a girl out here looking for you. Said something about child support.
Child support? Oh no.
Okay, most of you remember I bought this truck here for the engine, but box truck, 1 ton, 2005 Chevrolet. It's the van style 3500. But I've sold the rear springs, the rear bumper, and let me see. We sold the 4 rims off the rear and tires. We sold the door. We sold the fender. We sold the hood. Part of the grill and stuff, I've still got some of it left. And odds and end parts, little parts, stuff like that. So I've still got the motor and transmission, which is one I wanted to keep. So I used the cab corner, not this one on the other side, on my red truck there. And let me see. We're getting ready to pull the cab off. And the reason we're doing this, I'm going to take this box off, and this is going to be storage. I'm going to break the door off the back because it's messed up and put just an open and shut door on it. So we need to get the cab off of it, or the box. But if we take the cab off, we can get the engine out easier. So that's the plan. That's what me and Noah are working on now. You can see the door, it caught an irrigation pipe. Now the roof's not hurt except for about the back foot. So what I want to do is I want to take all this off and just close this in and put just an opening, you know, regular door on it, house door, you know, mobile home door, something like that, so we can use this for storage. We make it useful. We'll cut that, do something with it, just frame this in, and fix the little bit of roof that needs fixed. It's not bad. I'll show you from the inside once we get it off, or get the cab off. Anyway, we're hooked up now. Well, my part's hooked up. I don't know about Noah's part. I doubt it.
It's hooked up.
All right, let's see if we can get it off. Okay, so we got this side coming loose and splitting, raised up, but the other side has not moved, so I'm wondering if we might have missed something. So we'll go through it with the saws off, try it again. Alright, we're about to have it off. We got no bolts on the power steering cooler. You make me laugh, Noah. Alright, I think we got it now. We're hitting the top of that box up there. There we go. Might ought to back it out of here before we knock that box over. You can't. No. Because we're leaning so bad.
Hey, John.
You clear? we had the air hose.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Not a big deal. Well, there she is. No, it's not a problem. Pull the engine out of it. Did good, Noah. You didn't miss but about half the stuff.
Yeah, right.
All right. Take this out back and set it down. There's still a few parts on it. Heater controls, stereo, dash panel. Still quite a few parts on this thing it'll sell. All right. All right, here's the inside of the box where they, I guess it's more than a foot, maybe a foot and a half. What happened is they started up there, it started scratching, and evidently they didn't hear it and it kept coming. And then it started to rip, and then the sprinkler or the overhead irrigation pipe, it caught the back of that steel framing and pulled it off. We just need to probably run a new brace across from here all the way across, and then we'll take this door completely off. So, all right, show you more. Told Noah he couldn't get that tree down. He was determined to get it down. He says it's coming down before he leaves here today. Now it's time I got a chainsaw. Nah, take all the fun out of
It's got lighter in it.
it. It's got rubber in the middle. It looks like it's springing. You wouldn't make a good beaver. Okay, my battery went dead before I was able to show you. Noah did get the tree down. So now I have flipped this up on its side. This is a Astro van that got tree fell on. So Noah and I are, well, we've got the transmission out now, so we just took it out the quick way, Sawzall and bolts. So this thing's ready to take the crusher. And transmission's supposed to be good. Well, I'm sure it was good because this was a running driving van, but it said a long time. But I'm not gonna worry about the 4.3. Got plenty of them, and it's got quite a bit of oil on it, so I think it was leaking quite a bit. But so I don't know what the condition was before. But anyway, we've got the transmission. Need it for another vehicle, so we're going to load this thing up and load the tools up, get this laid down, and then we can get this thing ready to go to the scrapyard. Or it's about ready. This is the one the tree had fell on, crushed the roof of it. So here comes Noah in my truck. Back up this way, man. All right.